Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. This is the end for Junk Journal January. This is the final flip through of the journal that I did for that. I know I didn't film a lot of that process, but this journal was just something for me to do for myself. I did Junk Journal January last year and I really enjoyed it, so I wanted to do it again this year. So it's not something that I'm going to sell or anything like that, although I probably will be making another journal, smaller, pared down version of this to probably sell if anybody's interested. But I really enjoyed working with this. I don't work with blue a whole lot, so this was a little bit out of my norm, but I really enjoyed it. All the digitals, the free digitals that Debbie gave us were all gorgeous. I loved working with them. Added some of my own stuff along the way, followed along with the prompts, and really enjoyed that. It's a lot of the prompts I did more than one spread with the prompts, and again, that's probably why it got so big, because she is a monster. I did a 3-inch spine cover. Wasn't nearly big enough. I know a lot of people that I was watching were tearing their books apart, starting over, or they waited to do their cover, which is a brilliant idea. Except for I really enjoy the idea of working inside of a book, so I don't know how I feel about that. May try it next time. I don't know. But I really enjoyed doing this. She is a gator mouse. She will never be used as a journal in the purest sense of the word, as for something to write in. That's not something I really do anyway. I just enjoy the art of making the journal and sharing it with you all. But I want to get into the flip through and hope you enjoy. But like I said, she is big. This is the front. I have a wood frame that I put around there, framed one of Debbie's pictures, and put the word peace on there. And then I have a little dangle here on the spine with some fabric. There's the back. And forgive the bow. I've tied and untied this thing like 14 times, so the bow's not really pretty at the moment, but it is all tied together. And like I said, she is gator mouthed. There she is from the top. She will just be a display piece on my shelf. She will not be used as a journal. But I'll try to do a flip through. It may be a little difficult. I'll try to show all the pages, but I may not be able to show everything. So we got a little tag pocket there. This is the first signature. Got a little tuck spot there. Another little pocket there with a big tag in it. Little side tuck. Pocket there. This is actually a tuck spot behind this big tag, and then you've got journaling cards there. And a little pocket here. It's got a little folio in there. Got a tuck spot here. Little envelope with a little tuck spot, another tuck spot. This is a belly band here. I loved this. This was belly band. Got a little large journaling card there with the little bird. I thought that was pretty. Did a lot of stamping in the background. This was an accordion pocket that I created. It wasn't really part of one of the prompts. I think this was the prompt of belly band. So this is a belly band. I made an accordion pocket, and then it's a belly band back behind. So it is part of the belly band prompt, I believe. It's hard to remember. I've done these so long ago. And then this is the ticket spread. This was for hidden. We have these little butterflies that are, it's gotten stuck, attached to these little tags that are down in there. Got a little quote on them. So those are tucked down in there. And then I also did this little hidden spot for hidden. This was for fabric and lace. So we've got some fabric swatches there with real fabric and just a piece of the digital Debbie gave us. Little journaling card that I put the prompt on. And then we got another little fabric card over here. Another journaling card tucked behind that belly band. Got stacked pockets there. We got this was just something extra that I added. It didn't really go along with any of the prompts, but I enjoyed it. I like making these little things that have the little tabs sticking out the side. I've done that a few times in my journals and folios. Oops. Got back in there. So each one has a little tab that sticks out. Got a little tuck spot. There's another little tuck spot there. This was for the prompt of invoice. So we have all of our little tags sticking there, prompt of invoice. This flips up, got a little pocket here, got another pocket here, and a pocket there. And then this just kind of tucks down, that holds that pocket closed. We got a little scrappy notebook there that is also a belly band. There's a tuck behind there. This was the prompt for ribbon. I sprayed with a stencil on this ribbon there and created a little buckle. I think I did a video on that. And this was the prompt for tape. I did a lot of the digital washi tape that Debbie gave us. I printed it out and tore it and kind of like stacked it around the edges, and then used boo-boo tape on there, or the cello tape, vintage cello tape, and then put the pictures on there. The pictures are just magneted on there onto the page with those brads. If they'll stay, they're not won't stay anymore since I did so much to the pages. This was the prompt for button. Got our little button jar there. Got a button card here. I printed out some of the button digitals that Davey gave us, and I did glossy accents and then created a little button card there. Collaged on that page. Got another little button card here. These are real buttons that I sewed onto the button card that Davey provided, and then just kind of collaged behind it. This was for the prompt of label. I labeled these little pockets. They hold our little specimen cards, and this is just like extra journaling spots. So we have a little journaling card inside all these little specimen pockets, and I printed onto some transparency and made my specimen cards with that. And also this was for the prompt of frame. I printed on that transparency there as well, created a little frame, little journaling card. Got a little tuck spot there. Haven't done anything on this page. There are a few pages that are left blank that I haven't done anything with. I may go back and finish them. I may not. You just never know. And this was the prompt. One of the prompts was tab. So this was the prompt for tab. So I did some long page tabs with a little butterfly on there. It's got a vellum envelope with some pictures. I just did a belly band there with little tuck. Got a little scrappy tag notebook here. I just did some of my coffee dyed paper inside there and just paper clipped that together. And this was the excuse me, this was for the prompt of stamp. So I did a lot of stamping in the background and then the collaged in front of it. And then I did stamping on this page, put a little sticker. This was for one of the pages that I did for the prompt of flip. So I just have a little flip there, and then I just collaged on the back there. I did do some stamping on that as well. This is another blank page that I haven't done anything with, but I do have a little pocket there. And then this was two of the little accordion pockets I did, and I did a bigger accordion pocket later on that has the prompt on it, but this was the accordion pockets that I did. These were what provided by Debbie, and then I just used book page in the middle. Haven't done anything to this page. This was for the prompt of flip. I have a little belly band there made with some lace and some of the digitals that Debbie gave, and then this just kind of tucks inside there and flips open, and then we have another little flip down here that flips down, and then we have a little belly band here that got some things tucked into, another little pocket back behind, and that just kind of flips into there. This little bird is, I did put glossy accents on some of the little tiles that Debbie gave us. So that's kind of a glossy accented bird there, and that just kind of tucks in behind it. This next page is for the prompt of torn. I have didn't put the prompt on this page, it's on another page, but I tore some pockets there and just layered them in front of one of the pictures. And then this was some fabric that I put around the picture. The fabric ended up being a little too bright for me. Like the blue was just like, woo, standing out there. So I put some of my vintage cello tape over the top of it. I had this cello tape that comes in a roll. I saw it on Crafty by Tony's channel, and I ordered it from where she ordered hers from, and I really like it. It's not really wanting to stick to the fabric very well. It's kind of lifting up a little bit, but it's stuck to the page, so it'll be fine. Nothing on that page. This was for the prompt of snippet. I waited until the end to do the prompt of snippet because I literally took all the like scraps and stuff that I had and went over to my sewing machine. Had some piece of like fusible webbing that you use in sewing. Not that I know much about sewing, but and I just kind of sewed a bunch of scraps to that webbing and made a belly band. So that's how I did snippet. I have an envelope here that I haven't done anything with. Another blank page. This was for the prompt of dyed. I dyed some cheesecloth that I had with some of my inks and stuff and made a little, just a little swatch card there. So that was for dyed. My little book page here, I just cut it, made a little pocket out of the little book page there and put some of the digitals that Debbie gave us in there. And then I also made this little swatch card, paint sample card, I guess you could say, out of Debbie's digitals. And then just tucked some little journaling cards behind there. This was for the prompt of collage. So I collaged on both of these pages here. And it has a little envelope there. And I cut some holes in like where there were natural lines in the digital that Debbie gave us. So there's a hole there that this little envelope comes out of. And I stitched that envelope. Then this little, sorry y'all, this is getting a little difficult. This slides out of here and goes back into another little hole that's tucked behind there. And then just collaged on this page. Got a little tab. Again, this was from the little glossy accents that I used. I added this page in here. I just stitched around it, made a little flip there. And this was a big journaling card that I put in there. I put a little big torn pocket there. And I'm wondering if I forgot to put the prompt of torn somewhere. I haven't found it yet, but if I did, I'll go back and fix it later. This was another snippet page that I did. That's more of that snippet that I sewed, and I just made a little tuck spot there with that. This was for the prompt of map. So I had a piece of map fabric that I just stitched around and made a little pocket. This was the little pocket that Debbie gave us that was the little map. I think it was intended for like a little booklet, but I just made a little, actually just made a little belly band out of it. I attached it to the flap of that envelope and then just made that, and then just there's room back there to tuck behind. So I just made a belly band out of that. Got a little pocket on either side. And then over here I just stamped a bunch of different maps, stamps that I had in the background, and made a belly band there for some things to stick into. And then this is a belly band. It wasn't really a prompt, it was just a belly band that I made. I have a little journaling pocket there, and it's a belly band that has a pocket inside of it. So that just folds up there. It has a little hidden spot there. Then this has a large journaling card tab in there and tucked in the side. I just glued two of the pages together and did that. This was the other one that I did for accordion. Turn this around this way. So I did a large accordion pocket. Got a Velcro on it. So we got a large accordion pocket in there. And this is the last signature, I believe. Yes, this is the last signature. Blank page I haven't done anything with. This was some transparency that I stenciled on. And this is like a little card envelope that I bought at Michael's. So just a little extra tuck spot there. This was for the prompt of layered. I layered a bunch of pockets. So I have the transparency here that I printed on. That's a little pocket. So you take that out and this is a large tag that is tucked in the back there. So you take both of those out, and then this folds down. Oh, let me show that to you better. Sorry, I didn't realize I wasn't in frame there. All right, so let's try that again. All right, so we got our little pocket there with our transparency. So we have our little pocket there. Take this large tag out. This folds down, and it has another little tuck spot there. And then we have another large tag tucked here in the back. So that's how I interpreted layered. I layered a bunch of different kinds of pockets on top of each other. We got that tucked in there. Tuck our ephemera back in there. And then I just have another little pocket over here, and that has my prompt of layer in it. And for this is just the other side of the page. Again, I just layered some pockets there. There's another little pocket there that I didn't stick anything in, but there's a pocket there, and then there's a pocket there. So we got some layered pockets. Another one of my long page tabs. This was the prompt for torn. There it is. So I did some torn layered pockets here. I just had the torn edges, and I just stacked some pockets there. And then I did torn pockets here. I have a torn pocket, little one on the front, a torn pocket there, and a torn pocket there. And then I just have a little scrappy notebook here. If I can get it open, it just has some torn pages inside there. So I just did a little scrappy notebook. Has some torn coffee dyed paper, some notebook paper in there. Just tied it with some of my dyed cheesecloth. So that just tucks in there. I just made that little book. This next page, this was part of the prompt of flip. I just did a second thing because I have that flip there. That flips up and has a little pocket hidden underneath there. Another one of those little glossy accent tiles that I did. Here's an envelope I haven't done anything with, except for it has a little belly band on the back of it for a little tuck. Blank page I haven't done anything with. Little tuck spot here, and then this is just a page that I just collaged on for the prompt of distress. I just distressed the pages. I did do some can't hardly see it, but I did do some stenciling with some the crackle. It didn't crackle or anything, but I did do stenciling on there and just distressed that a little bit. And then this was the prompt for stencil. I did, you can see that a little bit there. This is texture paste that I did a stencil over the top of this beautiful page that Debbie gave us. So I did that on both sides. I've stenciled all across the page, and then have just put a little tab there with the prompt. Another blank page that I hadn't done anything with. And this was for a book page. I took the pages that Debbie provided us, and I just kind of tore them up and then just collaged them onto the page with some fabric and some lace. There's the prompt. And I did that on both sides. I just kind of collaged the pages together. This was for the prompt of envelope. I can't remember what number it was. I didn't really use the numbers, but this was the prompt for envelope. Debbie provided this digital, and I just printed it out. I haven't put anything in it. It's just empty, but I'll probably use it for a lot of the extra ephemera that I have. So that was the prompt of envelope, and I just have it tucked here in the back. And for the prompt of clothes, basically what I did for clothes was finished my cover, put my binding on it, and I did this belly band here in the back. And I have an envelope that I put the prompt of clothes on, and it has the prompt list for the challenge in there. So I just tucked that in there, and that was the last thing I did, was put that in there. Just kind of brought the whole journey to a close. Anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed that. If there's any of the things that I showed you that you have questions about or want a closer look at something, I know it was really difficult for me to show this, just let me know. Like I said, I do plan on creating another journal with these digitals because I really enjoyed it. I am going to take a break. I have another project in mind that I'm going to work on. But this was Junk Journal January 2026, and I really enjoyed it. Y'all go on over to Debbie's website at, I think it's jjj.info. inkandpage.co. This was where she kept the digital files at. It was a wonderful journey this month. I really enjoyed it. I hope y'all will join in on her. I believe she's going to do Junk Journal July. So if you have time in July to go over there and support her on that, I'm sure she would appreciate it. She has wonderful digitals on Etsy. So y'all just go show her some love and some appreciation. She's been really generous with us this month, and we certainly appreciate that. Hope y'all will come back and see me. If you've made it to the end of the video, if you wouldn't mind to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, I'd really appreciate it. Thanks, y'all.